What's up, guys? WhoNeedsMeta here. So I kind of wanted to do something different with this one. There was a unfortunate game state error in this duel. But rather than let it go to waste, I can kind of explain what happened, but kind of do a little aftermath post-mortem. I don't think I've ever done this on an IRL game. Mostly just dueling book stuff, so it'd be kind of fun to do it in IRL because that's kind of our thing. I'm on the right. I'm playing Mermails. And my buddy Zach's on the left. He's playing Evilswarm. Tough matchup for me normally, especially when they open Rabbit. Obviously, Ophion is a huge pain to deal with for a deck that plays a bunch of level 7 guys, as well as the Moulin Glacia, which is level 8. But fortunately for us, I'm on Undyne as well. Him opening the Rabbit, obviously really good. I'm going to blind space, hoping I don't hit the infection that he searched, which he did hit. So he's going to put the caster back. He just goes and adds another caster because he realizes, like, oh, I don't really need this. I just needed my play to go through. I needed to hit, like, a real trap card because, again, I'm so far behind. And if he Solemn Warning this Undyne, it would be kind of game over. We're obviously going to go for the infantry and pop it. He could have gone for Kirkion anticipating that, but that would just be kind of like a blind guess there. Thinking, oh, I'm going to have enough guys for the Kirkion. I'm going to hit him for 12, put him at 68. And he's going to draw for turn. He's going to duality. He's going to take this space, and I believe he's going to hold it, which I think is correct because if I flip Sphere on my turn, it's obviously not as good. So he's got Thunderbird. He could go Caster Thunderbird, but that's kind of a waste because he wants the duality and kind of dig. So it's up to him to decide what's more important. So he's going to set one. And I believe he held the space, though that card is not space. But I obviously don't know that. So in making my play, if I make a play, which I'm going to go with Tias here, and discard Marksman. So I'm obviously going to target this card here. At least I should. Because I know that, because I know that this is space, so it's chainable. So he's going to chain TT and then chain Thunderbird. And then I'm going to chain the breakthrough to the Thunderbird so that he loses it. If he wanted, I don't know if he has Pandemic. I believe he does. He could chain. I guess he didn't set it. Or that is Pandemic. And I'm going to search with Abystius. I'm going to get Pike. You can get a level 4 lower. Going to go Pike here, normal summon. Pitch Lind. So I'm strictly pitching this Lind. So he's going to Valor specifically because I have the Moonline in my hand and he has 2 cards. So I was trying to get to 5. And that card was Fiendish Chain. So he did not have the Pandemic. So he's going to Fiendish Chain the Mulan. And I'm going to hit him for 16. Which is very unfortunate that he had both Fiendish and Valor to hit both. And then he's going to Caster and hit over for 150. So I'm going to get 74 to his 52. He's going to set 2 more cards, one of which we know is MST. I'm just going to draw and pass. He's going to draw a set pass. Again, he can't clear my Mulan. My Mulan can't attack. So he's going to go with Thunderbird. He's going to go with an Ophion, detach, and get the Pandemic that he needed. And now he's going to set it, so we know the card closest to his deck is the Pandemic, because he has no cards in hand. Draw for turn. You see we have a controller in our hand from earlier. You say we can break through to burn it, but we should only really do that if we can kind of stack it. Draw. Give me a decent amount of draw pass just with the board here. So we're going to break through skill and then burn that so that he has to go either search another one, or if I draw another card or a trap card, I'm able to use that. Because, again, Ophion only gets its effect if it has a material, so he's not able to search out another one. He's going to set and go with a caster, so if he draws another monster. Pass again. Okay, so he draws a monster, and now he can start moving by 101ing my guy. And take it, and start hitting me for 21, and then 2550. I draw. Set what's most likely going to be a Lind. Yeah. Oh, it's controller. Just kidding. I get him to burn the space because if I have a trap card, because my next turn is going to be my last turn, so I need to be able to set a card. If I draw like a trap card, I need to be able to set it and not have to worry about it getting in face space. So I need to burn his space in order to do that. But nothing there, so we're going to scoop it up. In the sideboard, we're going to be putting in extra MSTs. I only main deck one MST, so we're going to be bringing in the other two MSTs, and we're obviously going to bring in the XYZ Encores, which are super important in this matchup. This is the biggest matchup you play it. We're going to go Pike Tidal. I do side out one Megalo. I side out the Mulan. I side out Gores. I sided out one Tias. But I did decide to keep in Tidal, and I have to keep in lead for if I can get it out while he doesn't have an Ophion, and that way I'm bigger than Ophion. Or if I happen to be able to breakthrough skill it before he searches, or have that breakthrough select if I burn the first one and then use it from my grave. So he's going to set 5. So I'm obviously hesitant to summon. I don't want to play into Torrential. I don't want to play in anything unless I have to. What I think Zach should have done, I don't think he should set 5, because if he is able to get to Pandemic and set it, I know exactly which card is Pandemic, because you can only set one. I don't know if you necessarily need all 5 cards, and he's locked himself out of the ability to play cards like Pot of Duality, which we saw he did play game 1. So that's my opinion on the whole set 5. I don't necessarily know if you need to. We just keep poking for 16. Feels kind of good there. He's eventually going to get tired of it and use one of his Fiendish Chains. So he's going to Fiendish Chain Pike. So what I'm thinking here is I'm going to try and set Controller so that if he doesn't draw a monster, I can flip it and try and Black Rose him on my turn. And Black Rose puts a water monster and a dragon in my graveyard if it gets hit with like a warning or something. Or like a Blackhorn, but I don't think he would be siding that card in this matchup. Yeah, so I am going to warning his summon because he hasn't drawn a monster yet. I'm going to just go ahead and warning his summon because I know I'm going to be attempting Black Rose anyways. So I might as well get the value if my Black Rose doesn't go through. So I'm going to attempt it here. And he does have the Solemn Warning. So we don't get to go through. But this turn allows us to still commit our normal summon to the board. I'm kind of upset here. I believe this is the turn. I have a Marksman in my hand. And I was going to normal summon Marksman and attack and get the Dragoons and to attack for game, and I drew the Dragoons for turn. So that took that play out of my possibilities, out of my toolbox there. So he's at 28, so I'm figuring 2 controllers is game. So I'm just gonna get in with the controller because I did draw an extra controller. And again, he has to burn a Mirror Force on this, which is pretty bad, and I still haven't used my normal summon, so I can kind of start getting in there with that. So I'm going to pitch the Marksman here, and then I'm just going to roll search and then roll for target. If I don't have a Lin, I should probably search Lin because it gives me a normal summon. If not, I'm just going to go get gunned. Yeah, just get gunned. There are plenty of good targets. Obviously, it's the best card. So we're going to roll 5-6, and we're going to hit that card. And he's just going to debunk the Marksman just so I have one less water in my graveyard. You say he even said it in the duel, use it or lose it. So he draws Heliotrope, and he's able to get over my Pike for 350. So I do have Dark Hole in my hand. Okay, so he's going to emptiness me so that I can't, I guess, do any plays. It might be preemptive. I'm going to try and Dark Hole. But again, that hits the Pandemic, which turns the emptiness off. I figured I'm taking the emptiness out either way with that Dark Hole. I'm going to go with Undyne because I believe I've already used 2 controllers. I'm like, if I draw the 3rd one and this Undyne is dead, I need to get some value off of it. So I'm going to go with Marksman and get the 3rd controller. And then I'm going to hit an MST. And he's going to chain it. I got to put it down, yeah. Which is Breakthrough Skill. So not chainable, unfortunately. It's not Sphere. But I'm going to banish the Black Rose. And he is going to debunk it. I just banish Black Rose and Pike, and I get debunked, which is unfortunate. So he's kind of holding on it here. I'm going to try and Regeki Break it, and he does have the other Pandemic. I was hoping he just wouldn't have the out to it, and he does. I am still up a little bit on cards. So I'm going to draw. I draw Salvage, which is not good. Because I haven't seen an infantry, and because I drew the extra controllers, because I do play 3 controller, and I do have all of them in my graveyard. So I cannot even go for Undyne to do something like send an infantry and then attempt to get in there, unfortunately. So I do have, yeah. So I still have the gun from earlier, so I'm just going to set 1. Again, I'm at 4,900 life, and he only has 2 cards in hand. No, thankfully, no monster. Oh, he does have the monster, so he's going to go for it. He didn't summon, so that must mean he obviously doesn't have Pandemic in his hand, because he would have been able to be more willing to play into trap cards. He's going to overlay, and he's going to make an Ophion. And so I'm thinking on the summon of Ophion. So this is where, because if he gets the Pandemic, so I'm thinking it's my set is XYZ Encore. So in my head, I'm thinking, does he? I was wondering if he did play the Zen mains, because some list for the XYZ Encore plays Zen mains, but it also is like I needed to stop the infection because any monster becomes Kirkion. So I'm worried about Kirkion there, but so that's why I wanted to stop the infection. But this gives him 2 monsters that I have to work through. So if he were to detach and then I were to chain it, then he would get the infection, and again, everything is Kirkion. He would only have 1 monster, but obviously they're level 3, so they're not like of value to him. I took out the Stygian Dirges out of my side deck for Mind Crushers, and Mind Crushers were quite good. So I'm like, no, yeah, I have no controllers left, so I'm normal summoning Undyne just to get through guys. And he's going to attack. I'm going to take 750. I'm going to draw. I'm going to set. And then he draws Kirkion, which is really good. That's a really good top deck. He's going to banish. He's going to add a Heliotrope. He's going to normal a Heliotrope. And so he's going to get going, and he's going to make an Ophion. He could make Dweller if he was, because obviously he's afraid of Lyn, but this, again, gets him to his infection, so he's able to kind of get moving a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and use the effect of Lind. And I'm just like on the back foot here. And I'm debating between Pike or Turge. I think I'm going to go with Pike. I think it makes more sense to go with Pike here. So I'm going to go Pike. Again, I don't have an infantry, so I'm going to try and thin my deck. I'm going to discard Dragoons, and I'm going to search. Yeah, that's what I'm explaining earlier. I was like, I drew the Dragoons when I could have 14, either forced them up to use like a back row on it. And then missed that we had to normal summon one of our controllers. And then get Megalo, and then he's going to use the Heliotrope to kill the Pike. So I searched Megalo with the Dragoons, and then Pike, or off Pike I get the Marksman. And he's going to search Infection and set it. I know exactly which one it is. I believe that I drew Bottomless for turn, which isn't very good. All right, we're going to salvage. We're going to get a Lind so that we can just set Lind. That makes the most sense here. And probably have back Gunned so that we can do other things. Yeah, I'm looking at my hand debating between Marksman. I guess I take the Marksman. Oh, I have the gun in my hand. Sorry, I haven't used the gun. Yeah, that's why. So I have the gun in hand. He's going to end phase space, hit the Bottomless. He's going to get a Thunderbird. And he's going to max see me in the battle phase, so that because he knows it's Lind and the game's over, so he's going to guarantee you draw, which means I do have to kind of not make the best play here. I have to double summon because he has 2 guys, and I lose essentially either way. Because he can just attack with the Heliotrope. Yeah. So I'm debating on position here. I could have put it in attack, and then he would not. Yeah, no, because he can clear everything. Because I can only get Yeah, I was debating putting an attack, and I was like, can he clear both if I do it because he has the 1650? But he can just go Ophion over Turge and Thunderbird over Pike. So, and we're going to discard Marksman off of the gun, and we're just going to add another Lind. So I think we have double Lind in our hand. And then Pike's going to hit the Pandemic. So now he has 2 attacks left still, and I have 2 monsters, so he just kills both. And then he sets a card. It passes. But we needed to pop that Pandemic so that we could use Breakthrough Skill in our graveyard, which I do believe we still have, because that's the only way we're really going to be able to play. So I'm thinking out the play here. Yeah, and we do have the Breakthrough Skill, so we're going to go ahead and banish the Breakthrough Skill to turn off Ophion so that we can finally reveal Megalo. And we're going to discard Pike and Lind. So we have double Lind in our hand, and he's going to chain so we don't search. Now, this is where the game state error unfortunately comes in. I do attack with this Megalo, which I'm obviously not allowed to do. It's under Fiendish Chain. He's going to chain Thunderbird to the effect there. I'm going to use TS. I'm going to actually summon an attack. I have a bad habit of just putting it in defense because that's just like a habit. I mean, most players would do that. So we're just going to go get the 3rd Lind, I believe. And we still have lead in our deck, so what we're going to do is ram it. We're just going to normal the Lind and ram to get the lead. So what I end up doing is lead, ram, Megalo attack, and then TS attack for game because I have enough. But unfortunately, I can't legally, obviously, attack with Megalo. But what we would do instead in order to win the game, we would normal summon the Lind, ram, get the lead. Lead would just tribute the Megalo to take the card out of his hand. And then we could just summon a Dracosack. We would attack over the, yeah. What we would do is attack. So I can rewind it for you here, bring it back to the exact spot. Again, we have lead, Megalo, TS, Megalo can't attack. So we can attack over with lead over, tribute the Megalo to take the card out of his hand, and then make any rank 7. Dracosack can pop the Ophion if we wanted to do that, and then his only top deck is Kirkion. We could even put the Dracosack in defense if we wanted to, and then we have token, and he can't 101 us if he does draw the Kirkion. He can't exit on us because the Fiendish Chains are clogging up his board because he's going to have double Fiendish Chain. So unfortunately with the game state being the way it was, there was only, even the Kirkion out only stalls the inevitable. The game was, fortunately, we were in such a winning position that he wasn't able to really do anything. I mean, we could have even big-eyed his Ophion if we wanted to. We could have done a whole lot. So I tried to sphere, he Ophions. He's going to search Pandemic. He's going to attack. We're going to use Lind. Lind is going to get his Pike. Oh, he's thinking here on the summon. So he actually ends up deciding to Solemn Warning the Lind. I go Effective Lind, and I kind of shotgunned it a little bit, and he was thinking about it. So we Solemn Warning to the Effective Lind. So we're a little bit far behind because we were going to go Pike Infantry. We do side deck the 3rd Infantry so that we can see it more often. We're just going to set. He's going to attack. We are going to Sphere again. And he does not have a space because we've already hit space and warning. So we get the Lind. And he's going to attack. It makes more sense to attack, honestly. We're going to summon it in defense because I don't believe he's summoned so that we can avoid the 101. I'm going to pitch the infantry, search. We have a controller in our hand, which kind of stinks, but we're going to get Undyne. Hopefully we don't draw more controllers. And so he's going to normal summon this guy, so banish the Ophion, get Mandragora, normal summon Mandragora, make another Ophion. And then he's going to be able to get Infection to go along with his Pandemic. Yeah, I guess going to go for the Infection. I believe we sided in the Veilers going second to stop the turn 1 Rabbit. Obviously, that really hurt us game 1. We know that warning is gone, so we're going to be able to get that Undyne in there and use the effect. We're going to send another infantry. That infantry is going to pop another Ophion. We're going to put that in attack. We're going to try and get in there for 28, and he's going to have the Mirror Force. So 2 of our guys die, and then we're going to set 1. And we're going to try and, yeah. So this is the huge play because it shuffles for cost. So he shuffles that back in, and we happen to have the MST. Again, we board in MSTs 2 and 3 in this matchup. And we're going to start getting in there with our controllers. Again, forcing that Mirror Force on the first one earlier felt really good. He draws and passes. And we're going to normal summon Undyne and use the effect. Add controller. Contemplating what to send. We're going to go with Dragoons, because we do have plenty of water monsters in our hand, including Gund, which is pretty good. And you can see the Veiler there that we boarded in. Still have all the XYZ Encores in there. We're going to get Megalo. We only have one Megalo in our deck, so you might as well go get it while we still have water monsters. And we're going to hit him for 26. And because we've already seen the warning, we're going to throw down a Zenmaines, which is pretty interesting. A lot of people don't really play Zenmaines at this point in time. Engineer's kind of taken over, but I think Zenmaines is really good in this matchup. So he's at 2,000 life, which means we can go Pike and then pitch Gund to search. One of his set cards is actually Soul Drain, and he can't flip it because it puts him under the life threshold for one attack to go through. So we're going to search a Marksman. And then Gund is going to trigger. And it's going to summon us Lyn, so this plays around Mirror Force. So if he has a D-Prison, he can't do anything because we have 3 attacks, and it doesn't matter which ones he D-Prisons. And if he Mirror Forces me, Zenmaines goes through and Lyn goes through, so we're okay there. So this kind of insulates us for our game shot. So then we're just going to attack for game. Unfortunately, he's got 2 Pandemics, a TT, which you can't really use again because the Zenmaines would pop, and then the Pike, and then all that good stuff. So there's no good spot for him to use those. Let me know what you think of these style videos, if we should do more of them, and then thanks for watching, guys.